To us, birds are an everyday part of life, but to some people, birds are fascinating and interesting animals. Michelle Seligman has a story about a man and his birds.
Here at SUNY New Paltz, we have a professor who is one of the world's foremost leading experts on the peregrine falcon. He has dedicated a large part of his life to the preservation of these beautiful but endangered birds. This professor is Dr. Heinz Meng.
We visited Dr. Meng at his home, where he shared with us his past achievements in introducing the peregrine falcon back into the wild. Dr. Meng has made a lifelong study of predatory birds and has had years of practical experience as a falconer.
After we learned how to breed these falcons in captivity, of course the next step was to release them back to the wild. And of course the young ones, if they were to be released back to the wild, could not be imprinted. So we couldn't raise them by hand as we raised some of these other birds. So these young had to be raised by other falcons so that they were afraid of people. And we raised quite a number of those. And the first experiment of releasing them back to the wild occurred on the New Paltz campus in 1974. And at that time I had 2 young falcons that had been raised by other falcons, so they were afraid of people. And I built an experimental hacking box on top of the faculty tower. It's just a little cage affair, and we put the young falcons in there a couple of days before we thought they could fly. And I continued putting food up there, but they didn't see where the food was coming from. And then at the time we decided to release them, we opened the hacking box up, and the young falcons started flying around the top of the faculty tower. But of course, they, at that time, couldn't catch their own prey. So we had to supply them with food for about 4 to 6 weeks until they could catch their own prey. And this is what happens in the wild. After the young falcons start flying, the adults keep bringing food to them. And as they fly better and better, they start chasing each other, and eventually they catch their own prey, and by 4 to 6 weeks, then they become independent. I like to bring in live animals to class because it stimulates student interest. Of course, in courses in field biology, we go out in the field and we see lots of live animals. But in those classes where we don't have the field trips, it stimulates interest to have an actual live animal to see what they're like. And in fact, this can save birds a lot, because if people see what these animals are like, they're less likely to want to shoot them.
Dr. Meng not only entertains us here at SUNY New Paltz, but he has also been a reoccurring guest on Late Night with David Letterman.
Thank you. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time we've ever had falcons on this program, and my next guest is the first scientist to ever breed them in captivity, a professor of biology at the State University of New York in New Paltz. Please welcome Dr. Heinz Meng. Doctor, nice to see you. Thank you. We have 2 examples of falcons here.
Yes, we do.
Are these birds endangered in the wild?
Yes, they are, and they've been bred in captivity now and released back to the wild. In fact, one that was released in New Paltz is breeding on the Verrazano Narrows Bridge now.
No kidding. So you're optimistic about their comeback?
Yes, we are.
Well, that's good. And they apparently get quite close to the city if they're just up the river on the bridge, huh?
Yes, they feed on pigeons, and there are a lot of pigeons in New York City.
In his spare time, Professor Meng enjoys painting the birds he admires so much.
I was interested, of course, in painting bird pictures. And after I caught this peregrine falcon, I really wanted to do a good picture of it. And I'd seen bird pictures in some of the bird books painted by Audubon and by Louis Agassiz Fiordes, who's a real famous bird artist.
Professor Heinz Meng has been at SUNY New Paltz for almost 40 years. During that time, he has done everything he can to preserve the endangered peregrine falcon. Dr. Meng shares with his students and colleagues his love and knowledge of wildlife.